family, it's Mia Sarnell, and I am sitting in my beautiful backyard getting some sunshine here in California. Excited to just share another day of tips with you. Today we have Jane Friedman, and she's been a yogi and practitioner for over 30 years, and she also is a student of the stars, which is super cool. So astrological readings, things like that, seeing how your life and body are interconnected and how you're your unique self, and why your personal peak performance with the time you have on here on earth is so powerful and important. So Jane, today we're going to be talking about technology, and you call yourself a transformational technician. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hi, me. Thanks for having me. It's
You're
great.
very welcome. So we're going to talk about how addicted to our cell phones we are.
Hot topic. Yay.
And I can't have too much angst about it because you're supposed to be listening to this on your cell phone. So we're going to
isn't that the irony? Isn't that the irony of it, right? So,
yeah, and it's a great outlet. You know, technology and your phones and all these components are huge. But giving yourself that space to really dive into remembering who you are, what is going on in your real world, can actually give your performance online a lot better. And so any of our influencers out there or entrepreneurs, we're going to show you today a little bit about why that balance is important, and how you cannot get burned out on the internet and, then take a hiatus on your Instagram and lose all of that impact that you made in the beginning. So Jane, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on technology, what's going on in the stars, and how my millennial friends can kind of find some focus.
Yes. It's a tool, right? And so we're looking always for the skillful means of how to use that tool and the purpose of that tool, right? The why. And if you're experiencing a disconnect, which usually it seems to be showing up for many as anxiety and or depression. It's kind of an epidemic right now. And when I look at what's happening astrologically, it's personal. It's in your chart. I can't say, oh yeah, we're in this time, we're in the Kali Yuga years, we got the powers that be and the structures breaking down. Okay, wait a minute. Anxiety, depression, sure. It's pretty heavy times, kind of chaotic. But what's making it chaotic? So my question to you is, are you perpetuating cycles of unnecessary suffering and tension through your use of technology? And so it's really about empowering yourself to kind of self-regulate. So if Facebook, if Instagram, and this isn't rocket science, if Facebook and Instagram create your heart to pound and you sense separation from the world around you because you're not over here and you're not over there. I mean, you hear this, right? And yet you don't really want to hear it, because then maybe you're going to have to change your relationship to this big part of your generation's life. And now mine. I have an online business. I mean, it's real. I'm very grateful for it.
Yes.
But you have to see how it's impacting your lens of perception, your sight, how it's affecting your thoughts, how it's affecting what's coming in your ears, sound and frequency. See how, like, flavor is right? It's in the mouth.
Yeah.
Taste, the sense gate of taste. It's a mood. How's your mood? So give yourself permission to put it down. To actually, what we were talking about before we got here, to set an intention and a practice to, oh, wow, my eyes are exhausted. So now I'm going to create some nourishment for my sense gates of sight. I'm going to feast my eyes on the natural light outside my office. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to feel the sunlight, and I'm going to notice the sunlight on the land. This is an embodied experience of what you're calling real. This is the visceral experience of the present moment of what's going on around you with your senses. You see, the technology, sure, you're in the moment. You're looking on Instagram, but you're going, oh, I want to go to that. I want to go. You see, it's not really in the present moment, and we get this schism. We get a disjointed experience of being pulled into the future, which is very anxiety invoking, or drawn into, oh, I missed that. And that's the sad past that, we didn't get or experience. And so
spending time, in that present moment and the version of it, I think is so important.
And that's why I offer your listeners here the power of the pause, to take a moment. And I am talking 30 seconds. This is how you can step on to an embodied, awake, and yes, spiritual practice where you're developing a beautiful relationship between your thoughts and what your physical, what I say from the neck down, what your body is experiencing, and that's connected to the senses. Okay? Arriving in the present moment, you are one breath away. And within that present moment, there's no anxiety. There's no depression or loss or fear. There isn't. So you stop, you put your phone down. Maybe you shut the top of the computer. Not right now, though. Close your eyes. You can do that right here. Or if you are anxious, keep your eyes open, please. So you basically withdraw from your senses for a moment. And you take a meaningful, conscious breath. A breath where you know you're breathing. It's simple. And then you relax in. And you feel what's here. You feel maybe the pounding of your heart, some tightness in your throat, some tingling in your toes, the tension in the tops of the shoulders of those fight, flight, freeze muscles. You take another breath, and you're arriving in presence. Your senses quiet. You feel what's here. And then you open your eyes and you notice. To me, everything shifts.
Yeah, it does feel different.
It's not reactive. It's not.
And you can create, it makes you more creative. So for example, like you mentioned, I run a business online. So my screen time may even honestly be more than when I had a job and I had a dual screen in front of me and I was, within the softwares for my job. And what I found was when I take those moments of pause, and that was so beautiful. Thank you, Jane. It really it helps reset, and having nature here. I mean, I'm probably the most spoiled one out of everyone. So hopefully everyone listens and you go outside, even if it's in your driveway.
And notice what's around you.
Yeah, when I go back on, let's say I'm, trying to network and I'm doing whatever different components, the version of myself when I have an energetic piece, like my exploring on social media sites or the emails I send out to experts like yourself are so much more rooted in being confident in who I am and knowing that I'm coming from a really sustainable peak performance, and that I'm not burning the wick at both ends and having this because when I go into the things don't work for me. Like they don't.
They don't work for anybody.
Yeah, like when let's say I have a deadline, and I need this amount of people. When I'm in that scarcity mindset, it just doesn't download. It doesn't come in. It doesn't I'm like, weird, why are my leads not, hitting me back, things like that. And so that's just a really good entrepreneurial tip too, is you got to give yourself that balance.
Well, you just said a great word. Balance. That's the self-regulation. That's having the wherewithal to resist. I mean, pretty much we have an addiction problem, and it's starting to come in. I have a friend who's a homeopath and functional medicine doctor and naturopath. And she said she got her first call from a family they're very concerned their son is addicted to addicted. And these, the video games, it's never mind the high performance. It's, then on your free time, you choose to go play war games or whatever that stuff is. You don't think that goes into your neural net and has an impact? It is having an impact. And so even arriving in that present moment is this opportunity for your neurology to relax, to just stop firing. And to maybe, as you're saying, go to the creative, unknown, open, spacious awareness place where you get the inspiration. You get the aha moment. You don't get it when you're in habituation. You don't get it when you're on the habit trail. That's just a habit, a pattern, a groove. And so you can reroute and reorientate your focus when you arrive in a moment of it. I tend to have my clients experience the pause when they're in transition. See, it's difficult to stop reactivity, okay? When you're in the moment, unless you have an intentional practice that you do when you're not caught. So arriving in awareness, going out in nature, meditating, yoga, but people are even using yoga to avoid, which is interesting.
So tell me a little bit about what technology and the frequencies that actually come from the devices can do to our bodies, can do to our health, and then
we're in this alpha. I'm not like a master on this, but I do know about what, I've experienced, so I can now believe and speak to. This alpha brainwave, which is the chaos. This is what we're doing. We're just, when we're in this it's called swish tasking. Like when we're send a text, got it, right? Not really in the present moment. We're alpha. And then when we do the pause and we meditate, we go to yoga, we mindfully eat, like these simple things, right? We deep listen, we offer attention, simplify everybody. That alone will change your life. Anyway, when we arrive in these states there's two wings of awareness, okay? So there's presence, being present. That's a whole thing. And then there's compassion. Okay, so you bring them together and you're in awareness. Okay, so open tender-heartedness, right? Where you're breathing. It's not rocket science. Your body does it automatically. I say don't take advantage of it. I say channel that energy into your purpose, into your life's desires. You get more energy. Anyway, I drifted. So you want to rest. You really do. You want to rest and get out of that alpha because it's habituated behavior and patterning and behaviors. I call it the default self. So do other people. It's where you're conditioned. It's where you're living through memories and stories. And I really believe that and have experienced that is not necessarily the path of deep-seated contentment and rocking success. So it keeps you safe. It says, be safe, little inner child, be safe. And you just keep doing the same thing. It's very subconscious, the default self. And so you have to have a willingness to say yes to the unknown. And the unknown is what you're just spoke into. You just spoke into it. That doesn't happen in alpha brainwaves. It doesn't happen in this continual, I mean, I see people walking down the street. We've lost our ability to wander, which is to wonder. Everyone wants to know where they're going. That's a samskaric pattern. That's habit. Why?
We get a lot done on our phones. And what we're saying now is to have that pause allows you to creatively go into the exploration, look at new people, find new circles, and say, you know, there's value in different pockets that I might be missing in my business plan. There's different pockets that I might be missing in my circle of influence that actually might push the needle even further and have me have more success, make more money, feel more alive in my own body, and also just keep those passion projects, or if it's a job that you love, you know, you're able to think about how you're going to get a raise differently when you take that time. And what we wanted to kind of share a little bit too, what we were talking about earlier, is there's actual frequencies coming off of these devices. You can look up the radiation piece of it all and the science behind that. And so that's something that we also want to look at with the health component. But
people don't, unless you're an empath who's super sensitive to these waves, right? These waves of energy. You just take away this, okay? That the world around you is a reflection of the world inside you. Your energy, your mind, your spirit and soul attracts what it is. You can call this the law of attraction stuff. I happen to be very into it. So pay attention. Pay attention to what you are bringing to your world. It's what's inside you. Are you happy? Are you happy? What is driving you? These are the things I coach into. Where's the deep-seated contentment? If this is giving it to you, great. If it's not, put some self-regulation on it and lean into those places. You know, you're going to have to, it is about thinking different. That's how we got this.
And that's what this whole series is about. You know, and we are finishing up here on our segment, and I want to make
sure, geez. I could talk about this stuff forever.
I know.
All right. So just notice how you're treating your eyes. What are you feeding them? What are you listening to? Is it raising your vibration and keeping you happy and positive? What are you eating? Is it really nourishing? How, you know, or is it just like emotionally shoveling it down and lethargy, right?
Yeah.
Right? How are you when you get up in the morning? What's your ritual? Do you get up and check your phone? If you're happy, great. Check your phone. But if you're doing it because you feel like you're behind or you're missing out, or this is your connection to the real world, take a pause. Take a pause. Say, oh, I'm actually going to go outside and check the temperature and look around and give myself a conscious breath or two and ground in my body and get my stoke on. I'm going to get stoked. So download the power of the pause and get stoked.
Great. And if California just came into the Driven Millennial, and we're here. We landed. We're in California, and it's so true. That's my goal with this whole show. So I hope everybody knows, like, I want you to be stoked on life. I want you to appreciate nature. And I want you to say, let me pause when I need to pause, and actually boost your performance that much farther. So Jane, thank you so much for just being a powerhouse and bringing center even into my very moments within this interview. It's been amazing. Where can we find you on the internet?
Jane Friedman, FREEDMAN 108.com. And I have a special offer for all of you guys, so you can have an astrological reading and a little bit of coaching with it. And it's my absolute favorite thing to do. It's called the 360 Degrees of You.
That's great. Thank you
That's
so
it.
much for sharing it. And we'll get you all the link so that we can go learn about ourselves even more.
Yes. And start with the power of the pause, which is a free download, and it'll set you up. You'll understand. There's a mindfulness meditation. It's a video.
Oh, awesome. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shane.
All right. Thank you, hon.
Have a great day.
Best of it all, everybody. Let's go.
Namaste.
Namaste.